If you're looking for best Netflix movies to watch, then this is the right video for you. Because today, we will present to you the top 10 best Netflix movies of the week. Here are our top 10 best Netflix movies of the week. From May 15 to 21, 2023. At number 10. The Healer. The Healer is a 2016 Spanish-Canadian-American comedy drama film written and directed by Paco Arango. It had 3,330,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the first time. It is about the mechanical engineer Alec Bailey, struggling after his parents' and twin brother Charlie's deaths, sleeps around, gambles, has a failing television repair business called The Healer, and is drowning in debt. Suddenly, Alec's estranged uncle, Raymond Heacock, offers to pay his £88,000 debt in exchange for him moving to Nova Scotia, Canada, for a whole year. 2 days later, he moves to his uncle Raymond's house near Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. On his first day in town, Alec meets Cecilia, who knows his uncle, and helps Alec place an ad in the local newspaper for work. His first days in town do not go well. Suddenly, because of the ad, people start showing up at his house asking for miracles. Alec is frustrated at the confusion and at not getting any electrical business. Strangely, one by one, each of the people who came to him to be healed were actually getting cured, although he refused to see them and told them he was an engineer, not a doctor. The strangest incident came when Father Malloy had a heart attack and died in front of Alec, but minutes later came back to life. Malloy then tells Alec he believes he has a God-given gift to heal people. At number 9, Ugly Dolls. Ugly Dolls is a 2019 computer-animated musical adventure comedy film directed by Kelly Asbury. It had 3,820,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the first time. The story started in a hidden universe within a toy factory. Deformed dolls, or Ugly's Ugly Dolls, are dropped into a tunnel leading to the secluded town of Uglyville. Among these dolls is Moxie, who dreams of the big world and being loved by a child, despite Uglyville's Mayor Ox assuring her this concept is a myth. One day, Moxie enters the tunnel to find her way to the big world. The Ugly Dolls discover the Institute of Perfection, where perfect dolls, or pretties, are rigorously trained. The vain and superficial leader of the institute, Lou, tells Moxie and her friends that they cannot hope to pass the training for the Gauntlet, an obstacle course based on a human house, which determines if a doll will be allowed to use the portal to the big world. At number 8, The Croods. The Croods is a 2013 American computer-animated adventure comedy film produced by DreamWorks Animation and distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was written and directed by Kirk Demico and Chris Sanders. It had 4,280,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the 5th time. It is all about a cave family called the Croods, who survive several natural disasters due to stubborn patriarch Grug refusing to let anyone leave the cave except for short periods to gather food. Eep, his teenage daughter, loves her family but frequently rebels against Grug's strictures. One night, Eep sneaks out when she sees a light and encounters an inventive modern human boy named Guy and his pet sloth Belt, who have made a torch. He warns her of an impending apocalypse and offers to help her escape, but Eep elects to stay with the family. Guy leaves her a shell horn to blow if she needs help, but when Eep returns to her family, Grug and others frantically destroy the horn out of fear of the new. At number 7, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, released in the United States, India, and the Philippines as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, is a 2001 fantasy film directed by Chris Columbus. It had 4,790,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the first time. It is an adaptation of the first of J.K. Rowling's popular children's novels about Harry Potter, a boy who learns on his 11th birthday that he is the orphan son of two powerful wizards and possesses unique magical powers of his own. He is summoned from his life as an unwanted child to become a student at Hogwarts, an English boarding school for wizards. There, he meets several friends who become his closest allies and help him discover the truth about his parents' mysterious deaths. The film grossed $974 million at the worldwide box office during its initial run and over $1 billion with subsequent re-releases. At number 6. Missing. Missing is a 2023 American screen life thriller film written and directed by Will Merrick and Nick Johnson. It had 5,220,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the first time. The story started when June's mother Grace leaves for a week-long trip to Cartagena, Colombia, with her boyfriend Kevin, leaving June in the care of Grace's friend Heather. A week later, June is tasked with retrieving her mother and Kevin from Los Angeles International Airport, but they never arrive. When the FBI attaché to the consulate are unable to make any headway, June decides to investigate herself using an array of digital tools at her disposal. She also hires Javier, a Colombian gig worker who complies with June's requests for a small fee. Upon hacking into Kevin's Gmail account, June discovers a number of aliases and a criminal record of scamming many women for their money. Believing Kevin to have kidnapped her mother, June has Javier look for clues as to their whereabouts in Colombia. She traces Kevin's past movements to a location in Nevada, where she talks to Jimmy, a man claiming to be a pastor at a Christian rehabilitation center for ex-convicts. He tells her that Kevin has been rehabilitated and is genuinely in love with Grace. June eventually accesses her mother's online dating profile, where past messages revealed that her mother was already aware of Kevin's past. At number 5, Synchronic. Synchronic is a 2019 American science fiction horror film written by Justin Benson. It had 6,990,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the second time. It is about Steve, a ladies' man, and Dennis, a married father, work together as paramedics in New Orleans, Louisiana. They are called out to a series of cases where people are either dead in strange circumstances or whose stories are incoherent. The cases are linked to a new designer drug called Synchronic. Synchronic is in the top 10 movies in 21 countries including Colombia, El Salvador, Jamaica, and Mexico. At number 4, A Man Called Otto. A Man Called Otto is a 2022 American comedy drama film directed by Mark Forster. It had 10,640,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the third time. It is about Otto Anderson, a 63-year-old widower, lives in suburban Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 6 months after losing his wife Sonia, a former schoolteacher, Otto has become a cynical curmudgeon. He prepares for suicide after retiring from his job at a steel company. During a suicide attempt by hanging, Otto has flashbacks to his past. Years previously, he tried to enlist in the army but was rejected due to his hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. He meets Sonia on a train after returning a book she dropped. During his suicide attempt, he is interrupted by his new renting neighbors, Marisol, Tommy, and their 2 daughters, Abby and Luna. They bring him some Mexican food and ask to borrow an Allen wrench. Again, he attempts to hang himself, but the noose fastening falls from the ceiling. As he falls to the floor, he spots a flower bouquet advertisement in the newspaper he'd placed on the floor. He later goes and gets the flowers and visits Sonia's grave and tells her about the new neighbors. Otto attempts suicide again, this time via carbon monoxide poisoning. At number 3, Ted. Ted is a 2012 American satirical comedy film directed by Seth MacFarlane. It had 11,210,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the first time. In 1985, 8-year-old John Bennett is a friendless only child living in Norwood, Massachusetts, who wishes for his new Christmas gift, a jumbo teddy bear named Ted, to come to life and become his best friend. The wish coincides with a shooting star and comes true, much to the brief horror of his parents. Word spreads and Ted briefly becomes a celebrity. 27 years later, John, now 35, and Ted are still living in Boston and are still staunch companions enjoying a hedonistic life. John is dating Lori Collins, whom he met at a dance club. As their 4th anniversary approaches, Lori hopes to marry John but feels he cannot move forward in life with Ted around. John is hesitant about making Ted leave, but he is persuaded to act when they find Ted at home with a group of prostitutes, with one defecating on the floor after their anniversary dinner. John finds Ted his own apartment and a job at a grocery store, where Ted begins dating his co-worker Tommy Lynn. Lori learns that John has been skipping work, using her as an excuse to reluctantly continue to spend most of his time with Ted. John and Lori are invited to a party put on by Lori's womanizing manager Rex, but Ted lures John away to a party at his apartment with the pressured offer to meet Sam J. Jones, the star of their favorite film Flash Gordon. John intends to stay only a few minutes but gets caught up in the occasion. Lori finds John there and tearfully breaks up with him. A furious John blames Ted for ruining his relationship with Lori and disowns him. At number 2, Anna Nicole Smith. You Don't Know Me. From director Ursula Macfarlane and producer Alexandra Lacey comes an unflinching and humanizing examination of the life, death, and secrets of Vicky Lynn Hogan, better known as model and actress Anna Nicole Smith. From her first appearance in Playboy in 1992, Anna Nicole's dizzying ascent was the very essence of the American dream, brought to a tragic halt with her untimely passing in 2007. With access to never-before-seen footage, home movies, and interviews with key figures who have not spoken out until now, Anna Nicole Smith. You Don't Know Me reveals new insights into the story of the quintessential blonde bombshell hardly anyone really knew. Anna Nicole Smith. You Don't Know Me had 15,650,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the first time. It is also in the top 10 list in 48 countries including United States, Denmark, South Africa, and Singapore. At number 1, The Mother. The Mother is a 2023 American action thriller film directed by Niki Caro. It had 94,420,000 watch hours this week and has been on the top 10 list for the second time. Unnamed U.S. military operative, known as the Mother, brokers an arms smuggling deal between ex-SAS Marine Adrian Lavelle and arms dealer Hector Alvarez. Romantically involved with them both, she ends up becoming pregnant. After discovering that they are involved with child trafficking, the Mother approaches the FBI to be an informant. While the Mother is being interrogated at a safe house by FBI Special Agent William Cruz, Lavelle attacks the property, Cruz is shot and wounded, and the other FBI agents are killed. The Mother saves Cruz's life and crafts a time-delayed bomb. Lavelle confronts her in the bathroom and stabs her before getting knocked out by the explosion. After the ordeal, the Mother gives birth to a girl prematurely in the hospital. Eleanor Williams informs the Mother that Lavelle's body was missing and that her newborn daughter will be placed with a foster family for protection. Understanding that the child will never be safe with her, she disgruntledly waives parental rights. The Mother visits Cruz, giving him 3 conditions. The child will have a life as ordinary as possible, she'll get a photo every birthday, and to call her if she is in jeopardy. The Mother then secludes herself in a remote cabin in Alaska for the next 12 years until Cruz contacts her to meet in Ohio. Cruz informs her that when the ATF busted some of Alvarez's men in Mexico, they found a photo of her daughter, Zoe, suggesting they're onto the Mother. While Cruz and the Mother are shadowing Zoe playing at a park, Alvarez's men kidnap Zoe. The Mother manages to gun down several of them before escaping the cops with Cruz. While he thinks Zoe's kidnapping is for ransom, she knows it was done to lure her out of hiding.